Okay, so we are gathering and organizing the information today. There is a PowerPoint on Schoology for you to follow through. I have it up here on my iPad so that I can still use my document camera. All right, so I don't have to toggle back and forth between sharing my screen and being able to view this on the document camera. So here it is. You are going to be basically learning how to pick out the information that you need, and that is by using the questionnaire that I gave you guys. If you do not have it, you need to come and get it. Virtual kids, there is a link in the in today's folder so that you can have the question sheet. All right. Learning objective. You are reviewing and applying your reading strategies, note-taking, knowing how to find unknown words, your context clues, all of that stuff. All of those reading strategies you are using in this research project.
So we have to write it down?
Yes, in order to gather and organize your information. And then once it's all gathered via this questionnaire, you will have a graphic organizer with which to place and organize all of that information so that you can write your essay. Yes, y'all are writing an essay. It's not going to be one of those 5-paragraph beasts of an essay, but I don't want you to be turning in 1 paragraph either. 2 paragraphs minimum. 4 paragraphs probably would be enough. If you want to do a 5-paragrapher, by all means, I'm not going to tell you no, but I'm not expecting 5 paragraphs, okay? All right, so, well, darn. There were 6 steps on here. If you look at the original PowerPoint, there are 6 steps for you to do the there are 6 steps for you to complete the objective. Formatting being what it is on Schoology, it is not showing. Let's see if I can get that downloaded. Maybe it'll show it. Hopefully it'll come up. But step 1 is probably the most important one. You got to have the source. Yes. Yay. There it is. Okay. Am I going to be able to zoom in? Yay, I can zoom in. All right. Step 1, choose a source. You should have 3 sources already because that was your citation exercise, was citing 3 sources. So at minimum, you should have 3. Choose one of them. Any one. I don't care. The online, you can start with the online source. You can start with the book source if you have a book source. Whatever. Choose one. Seriously? Come on. I don't want to copy it.
Wait, so you can't use 2 sources?
Huh?
You can't use 2 sources? Like if it's not...
Well, start with one. Start with one. Yes, we are going to get to 2 sources, but that'll be here in a minute. So step 2, you are going to search that source for the required information. When I say required information, I mean the information that's on the questionnaire.
I'm trying to find the PowerPoint where it shows how to do the sources.
Today's folder, December 2nd. And I am recording. So you are going to need to search that source for all of your required information. So, you know, birthday. What's their birthday? Birthplace. How old are they? Last known residence. Are they still alive? All of this basic information. Some of it is easy to determine. So, like I found John Green's birthday, I found in my book source on page 10. So he was born 8/24/77. Yeah, he's old. If you do the math, and we're not going to pause the video to do the math, he's 43. All right, so that leads into a discussion on in-text citations. All right, in-text citations are the same format no matter what source you have. That is different from the regular citations that you did. So, my book source, here is the citation for it. All right, the major citation that we did yesterday with it. We have the author, title of the book, who the publisher was, year it was published, and it's a print source, so I made sure to write print. In-text citations come at the end of the information that you have. All right? So I said this was page 10. So as you answer the questions, it would be a good idea to write down, if it's a book source, what page number you got that from. If you have multiple book sources, that's where you can have the full in-text citation where it will help you out. If it's an online source with no page numbers, I will get to that in a minute, but there's a way for you to do that also. So, John Green was born August 24th, 1977. So that's like all the information up here. Your in-text citation, don't put the period at the end of the sentence. Okay? You are going to put parentheses, and the period goes at the end of the parentheses. Right here, it is the author's name, or this first word that is on the citation. So for this one, it's going to be Poulos. That's the name of the author of this book that I got. And then it's page 10. That's the in-text citation for that piece of information. If it is from an online source or a source that does not have page numbers, you use just the author's name. If it is a source that does not have an author, like this one, this is my online source. It's a bio from his book website. You use the first word of the citation. All right? So you would have this. You'd still have the parentheses and the period at the end, but you would just have that in there. Make sense? Very easy for in-text citations.
Wait, so we have to do that for every single thing that we write down?
Yes, because you need to cite the source. You have to verify, because you don't know off the top of your head if your author has kids. You got that information from somewhere. Somebody else already found that information for you and provided it in your source. So you have to give credit to that person that went down and got that information already.
If not, then
Yeah, if you don't, it's plagiarism and I'll fail you. Some of your questions here are probably not going to be found in one source. So, like, exhaust your first source. That's going into step 5. So all of this, I've already gone through step 4 on. If you're watching the presentation while I'm doing this, we've already gone through step 4. So I'll zip through this, or zoom out and zoom in and zoom out and zoom in. So step 3 was paraphrasing information found. Obviously, you can't paraphrase a birth date. That is just information that's there. Stuff that you would paraphrase would probably be like a question, have they won any awards? It's down here. Do they like to write? Does it give them a quote that says, why they like writing? Things like that. So that's what it's talking about in step 3 when it says to paraphrase the information. And then step 4, that was citing the source with the in-text citations according to MLA format. And then there's the format up there. It's the author last name and page number. If you don't have an author, don't have a page number, it's the first word of the citation. All right, now we go to step 5. Well, you exhaust that source for step 1. Step 5 is repeating steps 2, 3, and 4 throughout the entire source. All right, you will go through each of these questions with one source until you have you've wrung out everything you can from this source. All right. Now, say that you are going to have information that you don't know. For example, this one I couldn't find in this book. All right, I found on my online source. So I go to my online source. Where'd it go? There it is. Go to my online source. That's his biography on his website. And this is where I found his last known residence. It's down here. He's still in Indianapolis with his family. So I write down the information. Indianapolis with family. There's not a page number, but I have to cite the source. So I will go ahead and I cite where I got that information from. All right. This is another one where I didn't really get it from here. I couldn't find something, but I found it easy as pie right up here. Oh, that's all blurry. Anyway, it's right up here in the first sentence. He's won 2 awards. I write those down. When he won them, and then again, citing the source. All right. Get this back. Once you have exhausted your sources, yeah, that's step 6 basically, is going into your next source. You repeat steps 1 through 5 with your second source. And you do that until you have all of the information that you want or that you are required to have. Some of your questions, let me zoom in. It's not going to let me zoom in. There we go. All right. Some of your questions are not questions that are in the text. So why did you choose this author? Please don't write because she made me. Even if you do not know the author, you should now be an expert on this person. Give some meritorious reason of why this author might be inspirational. Maybe you like the style of books that he writes, but you may not, he or she writes, but you have not exactly read that author. Okay? Maybe you like sci-fi. You haven't read that author, but you like the sci-fi books, so maybe it'll be an author that you pick up now. Something. Do not write because she made me. And then same thing on the back. What did you find interesting about them? That's information you'll glean from the text. You'll be paraphrasing that. If you could meet them, what would you ask them? Based on stuff that you've read about them. This is kind of that what's your favorite book by the author and why. If you have not read any books from that author, then of course that cannot really be answered, but you can kind of go through and be like, oh, that one looks interesting. And why? Read the summary of the book. Why would you refer this author to other people? And then this one is kind of just extra notations. Anything extra you want to learn about your author or want people to know about your author. Do not think that you are confined to just these lines. If you need to, you can put information on notebook paper. So like for this one here, he attended Kenyon College in Ohio. And he also attended the University of Chicago Divinity School. I write huge, so I'm not going to be able to put both of those colleges here. So I write the one, Kenyon College in Ohio, and the page number I got that information from, because sometimes you're going to get information from different pages. Okay? I put a little mark so that I know that there's more information, and then I wrote it down here. I wrote it on a sheet of notebook paper. He also attended that. And I wrote the page number that I got it from. I also kind of put here, it's not on that same page, but it's kind of a note to myself. Attended, but he dropped out from the Divinity School. It kind of gives me an idea of my notes. Okay, I can go back to the text, to that page of the text, and kind of find the information. Why did he drop out? Was it something major that happened in his life? Something that might be included in my essay? What? So, yeah, it's just notes. Don't think that you have to write full, complete sentences on this. They are just notes. The full and complete sentences will come when we do the graphic organizer, and I will do that in a separate video. All right? This will need to get turned into the appropriate link in the folder. There's a link in there today. I don't expect it to be turned in today, but there's probably some overachievers and some virtual students that might get done today with this, so the link is there. But I will expect probably the majority of y'all to turn it in tomorrow, and y'all will have a link tomorrow to turn this in. But you need to get this turned in. That's part of the checkpoint. The paragraph graphic organizer is also part of this checkpoint. There will be a separate video showing how to take all of this information and put it on that graphic organizer.